Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Tonight, I am going to read on Rudy Giuliani. A couple of days ago, he completely and utterly voluntarily and not at all compelled by any legal means whatsoever had testified or provide witness statements to Jack Smith in the DOJ. Yesterday, news came out that this was what's known as a proffer session. A proffer session, basically, as I read the description here in this particular article, I'll include a link on the video, is that the defendant doesn't think they can win at trial. Therefore, they basically open up and tell the person doing the investigation, the prosecutors, everything they know. The more powerful the testimony, the better the deal they get. The more important they are in the whole scheme, the better deal they get. And the more direct and unimpeachable the testimony, the better deal they get. Now, knowing that Rudy Giuliani was, neck deep in the January 6th fake electors and the fake election, stolen election, he was in the war room on January 5th, and all this stuff going on, he's up to his neck in this stuff. And we also know that he was, trying to help get extra votes in Georgia. So Rudy has a lot of information on a lot of people. He just seemed to be involved with all these schemes. So he has a lot to offer. The other thing they say with the proffer deal is that this is the last thing you do before you get a plea deal. This one's unusual because I think he's going to tell them everything. And the whole idea is that if you proffer it, they won't use it to prosecute you if you're telling the truth, and they can verify the stuff. Otherwise, you've just hosed yourself big time, because then the deal goes away and you've confessed all these things and they will use it against you in court. So it behooves Rudy to tell the truth. Now, Rudy's also 80-something years old. He doesn't want to go to jail or prison because he won't last. That won't work for him. Plus, there's no alcohol in there, and he's an alcoholic, allegedly, entertainment purposes only. He is alleged to have a drinking problem, and that would be a difficult thing to have in prison. Not to mention, he's a former hard-nosed prosecutor for New York, so you can't imagine that would go well for him. So let's ask Spirit how... Let's see. What can Spirit share with us about what Rudy shared with Jack Smith? Okay, how about that? What did Rudy share with Jack Smith? He's sacrificing himself. He shared everything he could. It's not quite the martyr, because this martyrdom is to get him out of trouble, but he will make everybody else the martyr. He's going to expose everybody. Everybody's going to hate Rudy by the time this is done. Rudy is now the snitch. Rudy Giuliani, who colluded with the Russians, now colluded with the feds. He's the ultimate snitch. And you can't make this up. And it's all about Donald Trump. And it's all about the Trump administration. And it's all about the schemes that they did in the Trump administration. Good heavens. I think we've nailed it here. In the past, there was that sorrow and disappointment. I think, Trump kind of... he distanced himself from Rudy. I think Rudy, he tried to give Trump advice and Trump took some of it, but in the end of the day, Trump didn't pay him. Trump abandoned him, and he's really disappointed. There was a lot of, if you remember, about a year ago, maybe more, a couple years ago, they were sniping at each other in the media. And Rudy said that, basically he had himself covered. He knew how to cover himself, and that was a veiled threat to Trump. So, I don't think Rudy got his pardon, if you know what I mean. Because if he got a pardon, he wouldn't need to proffer. Current situation, Rudy is trying to get out of trouble. And if he has to go away, he doesn't care what he needs to do, so long as he goes over here and not to prison or into crazy town. Basically, he's trying to stay out of prison. Plain and simple. He may leave the country after this, but I think this is more, he is planning on leaving prison. His life has been crazy and tumultuous, And this is a way to calm things down, because then he'll at least know what the government's going to go after him for or what they're not going to go after him for. So his life will calm down because he'll have knowledge of what's going on for him. And there is the justice card. Front, center, top over it. The overall energy is justice. So this is talking with the Department of Justice. This is telling him everything he knows. This is all the illegal stuff that went on and all the things he knows about that, who the major players were. This is a great card to have over here. I'm sure the Hierophant might make an appearance here too. And there he is, the man of the hour. There's Jack Smith. The readers have their own cards. I am so glad Jack Smith shows up in mine as the King of Swords. It's perfect. Perfect. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah, the lesson to be learned is Jack Smith. You don't mess with this man. He's an assassin. He gets his target every freaking time. He's got justice on his side. Rudy's spilling the beans on the Trump administration, who jilted him, and now he's just trying to get some semblance of sanity back to his life. The outcome is the Empress. I think everybody gets what they want out of this. Rudy gets his minimal time or no crime. He gets immunity, basically. I think Rudy's going to get full immunity on this. Or whatever immunity he gets, the worst thing that's going to happen to him is like a fine and probation. He won't spend any time incarcerated. I think he's going to get off fine. I think the DOJ is going to get a treasure trove of information that they can use for their cases that they're investigating now. What are they talking about? They're talking about the theft of the election. This is, I imagine, the lion's share of this was the January 6th, all the events leading up to January 6th, plus probably, the grifting that went along with it. So, if I'm interpreting this reading right, Rudy gave it all up. It's unfortunate that he had to become a villain in order to redeem himself, but, he's also self-serving, so that's just kind of what happens. Self-serving, narcissistic people don't care who they turn against. No honor amongst thieves. Okay, so that's what he talked to him about. We hit that Six of Swords. I'm kind of curious how Rudy is feeling right now about his testimony. This will be a longer video because I think we really want to know how Rudy's feeling, how Jack Smith is feeling, how Donald Trump is feeling, and then kind of the outcome of all this, right? Those are four probably, besides what did he talk about, those are probably four of the most likely questions you'll have here. Whether Rudy goes to prison or not, that's out of our hands. That's for the Department of Justice at this point. That's for Rudy too. Rudy better have told the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Truth? I can speak real well. Derp. That's kind of funny. He had that reputation as America's mayor. He was set. Reputation set. But he was just corrupt. He's just corrupt. He happened to be a corrupt person in the right place at the right time when people were looking for heroes. So he rode that persona. Couldn't keep it up because that's not who he is. Okay, so how's Rudy feeling about his testimony right now? I hope he told the truth. I'm on the most positive rate. I think he told them just about everything he knew. He may have left a couple of things out, but I think he told them everything that they wanted to know. Oh God, there's that Hangman card again. Okay, so he told them about the stolen election. He talked about the stolen election. He basically he betrayed the Trump administration. Probably Steve Bannon, probably Michael Flynn, probably whoever else. All these other people that are involved in this one. He basically told them everything about everything that happened on. He absolutely sacrificed himself because he is not going to prison. He is going to try and avoid prison as much as he can. I think he thinks he was victorious, that he successfully negotiated this proffer and pretty much told him everything he knew and could speculate on. And it's kind of also up to them now to evaluate the data that Rudy shared with them. I don't think it would not have been wise for Rudy to withhold stuff. He could potentially have withheld some stuff, and if they find out, he's hosed. But let's right now just work under the assumption that Rudy, for the most part, was forthcoming, honest with that stolen election and all the shenanigans around that. So I think Rudy did about as best as he could do for Rudy. Rudy comes first. Let's see what else we want. How's Jack Smith feeling about all this? Aren't we lucky? Aren't we fortunate that a soul like Jack Smith comes down and wants to play this role in this lifetime for this situation? And this may not have been on his life path. That would be an interesting read. It was only going to be on his life path if this set of events came crashing down. Otherwise, maybe Merrick Garland could have headed all this up, but it just went so crazy town that he needed to pull out the special ops dudes, and that would be Jack Smith. So what's Jack Smith thinking about Rudy's testimony? Thank you, Spirit. He thinks he's got what he wants. He's got what he wants. Everybody's going to win on this one. Queen of Pentacles. There it is again. Oh. Star Witness. Star Witness. Star Witness. He got what he wanted from the Star Witness. Told him everything he knew about the stolen election and everything else that was going on behind the scenes. Very valuable testimony. Needs to be cherished, and it needs to be kept quiet. Because if this information gets out, then all of a sudden the people that have that data or whatever they're looking for start destroying it. People start hiding. People start dying. Information gets destroyed. Phones suddenly get dropped through a chipper shredder. Cloud accounts get, all the stuff. All the cover-up goes on. So, moving on that. They will be acting on that. So that's great news. I'm still amazed at the cards that are coming up. Again, I put these cards in different sections of the deck, shuffle them away, and they come again. So thank you, Spirit, for making this video or this reading really connect with the first one. Donald J. Trump. I'm sure he's got some information on this. What's Donald Trump thing? Up there's the Page of Pentacles. He's already trying to get the information that Rudy was putting out there. He's putting out feelers for it. Maybe making overtures to Rudy. Yeah, hey, Rudy, we haven't played golf with each other for a long time. Why don't you come down to Mar-a-Lago? Come to Bedminster. Stand next to this open window on the 5th floor, right over the pool that's been drained because all the water went down and soaked a bunch of boxes that we were trying to destroy. I'm sure that's not what he would do. For entertainment purposes only. What's Donald Trump thinking about all this? Star. There's your Star Witness again. Justice card. Oh, that's not so good. Queen of Wands. And 9 of Wands. I think Trump knows that Rudy is a huge key to this case against him. And he might be looking at trying to offer Rudy something of value to buy his loyalty back. So he's looking at taking some action. He doesn't quite know what to do, but he knows he needs to do something. And of course, his first thing that goes to is money, because he's concerned about the Justice Department and what they know. And again, he's got all these court cases, and there's a lot of anxiety with him because he doesn't know what he doesn't know. And the only way to find out is to go forward and look for that information. And if you can go to the source and get it, that's the best deal altogether, because it's going to affect Trump, his livelihood, and his comfort in living. I wouldn't be surprised for a second that he makes some threats against Rudy Giuliani. Wouldn't be surprised at all. Because, that's kind of, if you can't buy him, you threaten his livelihood. Now, that being said, Rudy's also pretty much, I think he's going to be disbarred, and he is broke, or there's rumors that he's broke. Again, entertainment purposes only. So, Donald might try to throw money at him, might try to squeeze him. He will do underhanded things, or he will send people to send messages to that star witness there. But he's concerned, as well he should be, because that's a huge key piece of the puzzle. Rudy's got the dirt. All right, so that's how those three people are stacking up. What's going to happen? What's going to happen with this information that Jack Smith has? We keep seeing the Empress card. What's going to happen? How's this information going to impact things? Do we get new cases? Do we seal a deal on old cases? Can we all wait for the miniseries to come out? Oh, God. Okay. How's it going to come out? All right. This one wants to stay on top. So bring it on down. How's this going to work out? Money. It's all about the money. They're following money, as well as, I guess legacies too. But this is, they're probably told them a lot of information that links things to money. So, where's the money hidden? Who paid who? Follow that money and you'll get more information. So it's money and things of value that were found out on this one. I wonder if it also means if they find, where money's hidden and stored. I was about to say in offshore accounts, and there's your offshore account card. I think how this is going to impact the case is there's a lot of value here, and that value is coming in. I think they might now know where to look for offshore accounts, and if they get offshore accounts, they can do forensic analysis on money coming in and out of there and trace how that money has been used and spread around, where it was sourced from and where it went to. And that takes them right down the path of who's financing stuff and where did the financing go. In the past, victory. Okay, so this is the successful interrogation of Rudy Giuliani and getting the information that he needed. And again, I think it's going to help them. Think of the coins as being items of value, valuable bits of information, probably along with money. It's been exposed. Currently, he's now looking. The DOJ is taking that information, and they are now actively working on with that information and following it wherever it takes them. Overall, the overarching energy is the Four of Cups. I think there's a lot there, there. So they have to decide what it is they're going to follow up, where they're going to put the resources. Because there's going to be, he probably gave them a lot. And you have a finite number of resources. So you can focus on the most important, like 2 or 3 of the most important things and really drive it forward. Or you can focus on 20 things and then nothing gets moved. So you have to make a decision as to what's going to get the priority and what's going to get the back seat. This could also delay the trial a little bit, or other trials as they piece things together. But what you're going to have is a really strong case because of that information. Lesson to be learned is that weariness. Again, I think a lot of people are nervous. A lot of people are nervous because they don't know what Rudy said, but they know what they've done. So now they're looking over their shoulder, and they're looking over their shoulder for the hermit coming. And is that hermit Jack Smith, or is that hermit some muscle from an oligarch or a wannabe mafioso? You're not going to believe what the outcome is. That's the Empress again. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Jack Smith hits freaking informational gold. And it might even, again, the Empress is a Russia card for me. So this could also connect stuff right back to Russia. And what do you know? You hold on to those valuable things. What he gave you was valuable, and you need to watch it carefully and use it well. It's like getting a lamp with 3 wishes on it. You know, you hold it in your lap and then you contemplate, what are the wishes you're going to do? And you think really, really hard on those wishes, because those wishes are incredibly valuable, but they're limited. And in Jack Smith's case, he's got valuable knowledge, but limited time. So you got to prioritize. All right. So that's my read on Rudy Giuliani and the Proffer interview. I think that one is a blockbuster for the DOJ. Yeah, it's, keep our fingers crossed, and we'll see how this all pans out over the next several months. Thank you again for supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you for doing your likes and your comments and stuff like that. I am doing a live with Marina next Friday. I've got something up on my community page, and I'll post another link as we get closer to that. So if you've got time, tune in. I believe it's 4 o'clock on Friday. I'll double check again. The time is listed in the community chat. I didn't look it up, so I don't remember off the top of my head. But thank you again for your support. I really appreciate it. I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.